Hi everyone. Welcome to a solo commentary that I'm doing without Chelsea because I don't think that this subject really interests her as much as it does me, and it's the subject of animatronics. As you can see, this is a video that's property of DisneyRob.com. It's not mine. I didn't film it. I take no credit for it. I'm just using it because it's probably one of the best versions of this show I've seen a video of, and that show is the Country Bear Christmas Hoedown, as you can see. This was one of the first shows that I ever saw at Disney World back in 1997. The first show I saw, because before that I'd just been on the attraction Spaceship Earth and Peter Pan's Flight, which are both also fantastic. So just try to imagine young me in 1997 looking in awe at these strange singing bears, and I used to draw them after I came back home. I would draw them, and I would just think about animatronics in general and how they moved, and I don't know, it really started a minor obsession of mine. I remember when I first saw this, there was a kid in the audience who kept crying every time the animals started moving, because I guess he or she was terrified. People have different reactions to animatronics, I suppose. I think I used to be afraid of the Country Bears, actually, because of the Disneyland Fun sing-along tape, which had these really frightening close-ups of them, and they had these really freaky, almost mangled-looking faces. And yet, when I end up seeing this show here, the fact that there was some distance between me and them was nice, but I was charmed by them once I finally got to see their personalities in action. Especially Henry, the MC we see here. And he's just really charming. And then there's Gomer, the piano bear, who I don't think he ever really talks. I think he might grunt every now and then, but he never speaks, nor does Oscar, the baby bear with the 5 bear rugs, except in the vacation overlay. You can hear him go, uh-huh, right before the Ghosts in the Sky sequence. Ghost Riders in the Sky, excuse me. And this is a great song, Tracks in the Snow. When we saw it the first time, I think a cast member encouraged everyone before the show to say, hey, every time they said Tracks in the Snow. So it was Tracks in the Snow, hey, real live and cozy. Hey, and I really like... I've never seen videos where anyone's done that, so I think it was just the cast member that day who liked that. But because of that cast member, I can't hear the song without thinking, hey, in my head. So wherever you are, Mr. Cast Member, thank you. And I really love this song also. I wish that it got more recognition, because the Bear Band Serenade from the original show is, a popular staple on Disney CD compilations based on the theme park, and Great Outdoors has gotten recognition from the sing-along tape. This song doesn't really get any love, and that's too bad. But I don't know. I always felt that I kind of have a thing about rooting for the underdogs and just about anything. It's probably why I like the song "A Guy Like You" in Hunchback, because no one else really likes it. It's one of the many, many, many reasons I love Brave Little Toaster, and that's because Brave Little Toaster deserves more love. I guess if you watch this channel enough, you know that Chelsea and I have a big obsession with that movie. But back to the show. Here's poor Wendell, and he sings a song about getting lost in the woods and having like the worst Christmas ever. And I think it's supposed to be funny, but I think it always like tugged my heartstrings. I felt really bad for him because, I mean, first of all, just look at him. The guy kind of looks all right, a little pathetic. He looks frozen. It's a sad little song, and I guess if it was supposed to be funny, it was lost on me. Also, when he shoots off his gun, I guess that part's kind of funny, and he shoots out a light. Henry calls to a Rufus to fix it, and Rufus is actually the name of a bear that used to live at Bear Country in Disneyland before it became Critter Country. And there was a cave, and you could hear a bear named Rufus snoring in it. He had a little sign outside. And Splash Mountain came in, and the cave was demolished to make room for Splash Mountain. And I guess Rufus got a home working at the Country Bear Jamboree. And you can still hear the snore audio in the Disneyland version of Splash Mountain when you pass by Brer Bear's cave. So yeah, Brer Bear's snores were originally Rufus's, and Rufus is remembered fondly by a lot of people in Disneyland. I've actually never been to Disneyland, and I wouldn't have been there when Bear Country was around, so I can't really say, but I think it's just one of those nice little touches that Disney puts in. Speaking of nice touches, if you go in the Country Bear Jamboree, you'll see the hardwood floors all scratched up in the lobby, and at first you're wondering, what is this? And then you realize, oh, it's from the bear's claws. It's just little stuff like that I really adore, that Disney does. The stuff that sets it apart from really every other theme park. I mean, even Universal can't quite compare. I'm sorry, Harry Potter fans. I've been meaning to go see the Wizarding World. It looks really cool, but I don't know. Disney's always going to be top in my book. And here's poor Trixie. Trixie's her name. And she always has bad luck in love. And there was a piece of concept art for a very large bear playing a tuba that I think might have inspired Trixie. And the story goes that Walt Disney was sick, and one of the last things he did was he took a look at, probably it was Mark Davis, who was doing concept art for Country Bears, and he saw this bear with a tuba, and he had this good long laugh, and people say that was like the last time they saw Walt really laugh. And then I think he said like goodbye to Mark and left, and Walt very rarely said goodbye. He would say see you later, or till tomorrow, but he never said goodbye. And I don't know, I think that's a really sad, sweet little story about Walt, and Trixie reminds me of that. I like her pink skates. Let's see who's coming next. Oh yeah, she flirts with Henry, who is more interested in Teddy Bear, unfortunately, who descends from the ceiling in a little impressive effect where she is on a little flowered swing. Excuse me. Then let's see. We've got the trio on the wall: Melvin, Buff, and Max. Buff is voiced by Thurl Ravenscroft, who another Toaster connection was Kirby the Vacuum. On A Christmas Connection, he sang You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. He was Tony the Tiger. Thurl Ravenscroft had a really, really good career voice acting-wise. And what's interesting is that they don't have this anymore, but when you exited the Country Bear Jamboree into the nearby restaurant Pecos Bill's Cafe, you'd see the 3 animal heads on the wall. They were mounted there too. And it was really cool because they would occasionally, quote unquote, come to life. And I remember they told the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and they would just sing stuff, and it was nice. But the problem was, how did they get from here to there? I mean, they couldn't walk, and it wouldn't make sense for someone to have put them there. So, see, everything. I mean, I know I'm overanalyzing things, but the Imagineers also were notorious for overanalyzing things, because everything has to have a story and a plot at Disney World. Everything has to have, some kind of coherence. And I'm sad that they were moved, that they were taken down, which was, I think, just for renovations to make room for more seating in Pecos Bill's Cafe, which is a very popular place, very, good food, convenient to go. But it didn't make sense as to why were they there when you were just seeing them in the theater. It didn't quite work, so I understand why they got rid of them. And here's Liver Lips, who inexplicably became an Elvis impersonator. I used to be pretty scared of Liver Lips, to be totally honest, especially the close-ups in the sing-along tape. Speaking of strange changes, we have Terrence the Shaker here with a frozen mail-order penguin, apparently. And he's suddenly become a polar bear. He had a light gray shade of fur in the original show and just sang a sad love song. And in the later shows, he was known for his animal acts, because in the Vacation Hoedown, he had an octopus that he did a duet with, and the octopus was getting a little overly affectionate with him. It's pretty funny, and you can see why he's called Shaker, because he's got the shaky thing going on. Never quite got what was up with the penguin. I don't know if I call it a mail-order penguin, because I guess the joke is he's covered in ice so he doesn't get too hot, but I don't know. It took me a while to figure out what the joke was, and maybe I haven't totally gotten it right. And here's the country trio singing Sleigh Ride, and this is probably one of my favorite... I bumped the table. This is probably one of my favorite versions of the song Sleigh Ride, by the way. I just think they're good singers, and I like the jingling-ling-ling. It's cute. I like their outfits, too. I remember there was a time where Minnie wore an outfit similar to that. when you can meet her at the park, and Belle wears a similar outfit in Beauty and the Beast in some of the scenes in the winter. They don't really do the holiday overlay anymore. You don't see this show anymore because I don't know what the reason is. Maybe it was too hard. Maybe they want everyone to get the original show, but they now whenever you go to Disney World, you will see this version. I mean the original version, not this version. Oh, I'm stumbling over my words here. Yeah, we don't get the Haunted Mansion holiday there. You don't get It's a Small World holiday. You don't get the Halloween Space Mountain Ghost Galaxy. And I guess that's good if you wanna see the classic version of the ride, and you don't want to go when It's a Small World, it's all Christmassy. But at the same time, I feel like you're missing out on something. This bear here is named Ernest, and I like his little twitching ear. I never noticed that. He strikes me as the bear with the least personality. I actually had to look up Ernest's name. He was the only bear whose name I had to look up before I did this video, because I can't even remember his name. He's like, I mean, no offense to Ernest. I mean, this is a great little song he has, but I feel like the other bears over the years were given distinct personalities or gimmicks. Like, Shaker had the animal axe, Liverlips is an Elvis impersonator, but Ernest, there's not much to say about him, to be totally honest. I know there was a Country Bear movie as well, and I'll be completely honest, I've never seen it. I think even as a kid, when it was coming out, I thought it was going to be bad. And this is speaking from someone who obviously really loves the Country Bears, but I thought it was going to be a bad movie, and apparently I was right. Apparently Christopher Walken was in it. I don't know. It just struck me as unnecessary, because at that time the Country Bear ride was actually removed from Disneyland and replaced with the Winnie the Pooh ride. So first Mr. Toad, now this. When will it end, Pooh? It's mostly a joke. I really do like Winnie the Pooh a lot, actually. I mean, at least he was replaced by another bear. But it just struck me as a bad time to release that movie, and I don't know. Poor teddy bear here, I mentioned earlier, she's got a broken paw. Looks like she had a skiing accident. And, despite having a bad movie and not being in Disneyland anymore, only being in Disney World and Tokyo Disney, I feel that the bears do have left behind more or less of a legacy. When I went back to Disney recently, I saw it a few times, the show, and people enjoyed it. People were laughing. People were... the song Mama Don't Whip Little Buford, that, got a big laugh every time I saw it. Big Al always gets a big laugh. Oh, and speaking of Big Al, here he comes. He's the most memorable of the Country Bears for his rendition of Blood on the Saddle. There's even a little Big Al shop outside. It's just a little cart, but still, he's got a shop named after him. Big Al merchandise is the easiest Country Bear merchandise to find, and there's not a lot of Country Bear merchandise out there, but for a while they produced a lot of Big Al plushies. I think I have a Big Al plush from McDonald's I got, a rather unattractive one I got that was from the Country Bear movie, from a cross tie-in they had. And I mean, how can you not laugh when you see this for the first time? This is, the giant fat bear dressed as Baby New Year, with a diaper. Or maybe it's someone's fetish, I don't know. Why did I say that? Anyway, Big Al is definitely the mascot of the show, more so than Liverlips or even Henry. I mean, Liverlips and Big Al are probably the most memorable characters. You can meet Big Al, Wendell, Liverlips, and Terrence the Shaker in Christmas, usually, at Disney World. I'm not sure about Disneyland. I don't know if they really come around at Disneyland anymore because, well, their show's not there anymore, which is a shame. And I've seen a costume version of Henry that was used for a Disney on Parade traveling show. Imagine Disney on Ice, except without the ice, and they had costumes of the little trio girls, who, come to think of it, I don't think I know their names. The Bunny, Bubbles, and Beulah. Oh, I do know their names. Hey. It's the 5 Bear Rugs I forget the names of, despite them having a whole song introducing them, and Who have I not named? Gomer is on the piano, and Oscar is the little bear with the teddy bear, who is one of the five bear rugs' son. And then there's Sammy the raccoon, and there's also a skunk who... Is he also Sammy? I don't know. At this point, I'm just rambling, and I'm sorry about that. Maybe I shouldn't do solo commentaries much anymore, because the thing I love most about commentaries is, well, A, getting to spend time with Chelsea. Hi, Chelsea, if you're watching this. And, it's nice to be able to, to talk to someone. I feel the best commentaries are done when there are two people, or three, or four, or whatever, because people, they have conversations. They bounce on and off of each other, and it's really nice. I feel like a lot of people's personalities really come out during these commentaries, and I guess you can tell from me that I really love Disney, and I ramble a lot when I'm kind of panicking on what to say. Oh, you can hear Rufus in the back going, "Whoa," just grunting and turning stuff on. So yeah, hopefully Disney will someday bring back the Country Bear Christmas overlay and the Country Bear Vacation Hoedown overlay, because those are both really charming shows, and this might be blasphemous, but I think I like them a little more than the first Country Bears attraction, because they bring out more of the bears' personalities. Because before, you could tell Henry's personality really well, and you could tell Big Al's personality really well. You could tell the mountain animals' personalities, but Trixie, yeah. But some of the other ones, like Shaker and Liverlips, you couldn't really get much from them other than them being pretty darn funny characters. So apparently there was an extended ending that I think you can see on widenyourworld.net's channel. That's a great channel. Definitely check that one out. And there was just a bit where I think the mountain animals say goodbye to everybody. And I think there was also a Coca-Cola reference that was cut, or maybe in the original one there was a Coca-Cola reference. It used to be sponsored by Coca-Cola. So they had to, do a name drop or say their slogan. So as you can see, we're winding to a finish. I want to say thank you, DisneyRob.com, for not getting mad at me for using this. I hope you're not going to get mad. And that was the Country Bear Christmas Hoedown. I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas, in case we don't do another Christmas commentary before Christmas is over. At this point, we have about 8 days left until Christmas, so like I said, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. I should have let them know over this here. Oh well. Merry Christmas.